Hello and welcome to this episode of Hospitality Talks. I am absolutely over the moon to be joined by Tommy Giraux from Honest Burgers to have a conversation about his AI journey. Tommy, do you just want to introduce us to yourself, to Honest Burgers? A little bit of your background in hospitality would be useful.
Sure. Hi, my name is Tommy. I'm the head of restaurant systems at Honest Burgers. I've been in the hospitality industry for the past 20 years now. Started as a barista, then general manager and ops manager for Honest Burgers, where I started about 11 years ago now. And my background with Honest for the last 11 years, the first 7 years were around operations, where I was an area manager and ops manager. And then as COVID hit, moved into a more project and tech-led position, which I've been doing for the last 4 years now. And I've helped to shape what the current tech stack is for Honest Burgers. And I'm always looking to improve, obviously. That's why we're here to talk about AI today.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Now, AI is on the lips of everybody in every industry, but specifically, I think in the hospitality industry, this idea that, are the robots coming for our jobs, so to speak? But we don't really look at it like that, do we? Because actually, AI can really, really improve the offering that we have to customers. What started you and Honest Burgers on that route? What made it so attractive to start exploring for you?
I think AI is one of those things. If you don't get on the bandwagon now, you're probably already almost too late. So it's not going anywhere, and there's a lot of claims out there that you can do a lot of things. It hasn't been fully proven just yet, but we're definitely on. 2025 is definitely an exciting year where a lot of platforms are finally seeing the benefits and the opportunity to throw AI in and to deliver more to their clients. In our case, with AI, I see a few opportunities to support the business. Obviously, with the budget falling in a few months now, everything is about to get even tighter than it used to be. So anything that can be done to support the business in terms of sales, to protect the bottom line, or to genuinely make our people's life easier, or to reduce admin tasks so they can focus more on customers or their teams, is beneficial to us. So the first area where I see AI being a benefit is almost automating all the stuff that no one likes to do and doesn't actually bring any value to the business. I mean, back in the days when I started even with Honest Burgers 11 years ago, the Monday closing the week it used to take an entire day, and then throughout the year because you had to copy the figures from different platforms and put them into a master spreadsheet that someone would go and break a formula and everyone would be locked until that formula is fixed, and no one knew how to fix that formula. So things have gone more integrated and automated over the years, and now it's been reduced to a few hours on a Monday morning just to review your
Right.
stock and your labor and things like that. But things can be even done faster now with AI. So there are opportunities to automate a few admin tasks that are not generating much value. And I think AI has the opportunity to ingest so much data that it takes away, in a good way, ultimately, although it's a good way to learn the job, but it takes away the need for our managers to spend hours looking at different platforms and understanding and trying to understand and see the trends that are happening. AI can ingest, all your labor, all your sales, all your item sales, your inventory, and very quickly come out with where the trends are and what you should be
Mm.
focusing on. So I think it's ultimately saving time on analyzing the data and trying to find the trends. And not everyone is good at that in the first
Yeah,
place.
yeah,
But
yeah,
instead
yeah.
of that, it's seeing where the trends are, getting some actionable insights so you can go and actually do something that brings value to your business or to your team.
And I think that that's kind of key, isn't it? It's very much about taking away those mundane tasks that actually can be automated. They can be done by a system so that we can focus on the customer experience. Can you give us a couple of examples I mean, you've just given us some great examples of, your forecasting, etc. But examples of maybe some of the more menial tasks that none of us like doing, let's be honest. I mean, I mean, spreadsheet is a dirty word to me. I don't even like working with Excel. But what kind of areas other than that forecasting has it freed you up to look more at customer experience?
Well, once forecasting is mastered and once we got forecast sorted, there's always an element where we don't fully replace the manager, so the manager always has the final word.
Of
So,
course.
AI can come up with a forecast, but you will know better than AI that something is happening
You've
on the
still
street,
got to sort
or
of sense check it and yeah, okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
But once this is done, there's a lot of time that has been spent on scheduling, for example. So,
Mhm.
having the right people at the right time, making sure that you have everyone's availability. And now with the newer generation, the Gen Z want to almost work on demand, because they do value a lot more their private life and their work-life balance. And it's almost, I want to work this week, this day, in this day, and that specific evening, and then the following week. So there's not always a very set pattern, and it's a lot
Mhm.
of data to ingest into a platform and to try to work around. So AI can generate like millions of schedules in a matter of a few minutes and come up with the optimal deployments where everyone gets what they want, the hours they want on the days they want. This is saving a lot of time ultimately, and this is
And
the
of course,
journey
having
we are on.
happier team members because they're actually getting the work that they want when they want it,
That's
and they're
exactly
not
that.
being rotated on to do a shift that isn't going to suit their lifestyle.
First of all, then on top of that is another layer where AI is able to analyze your schedules and to give you some insights whether people are overworked, people are not having the legal breaks when they should have.
Yeah.
If Samantha didn't have a weekend off for like 3 months, so try to make the rota more fair for everyone, so everyone gets the best of everything. Yeah. And then in terms of inventory, I think we're very close now to get into a world where your forecast just fit directly into your inventory, and your inventories and your purchasing is done automatically because you know already what sales you're gonna do. You know exactly what items you will sell. You know what you have on hand in restaurants. So it's very easy just to create a basket and just push it to your supplier. So that I think will very quickly go away as a task. And then you got the whole inventory, stock counting side of things, which some platform already started to automate, where you take your phone and you just film your fridges and it tells you what's in there. I'm not entirely sure of the accuracy of that. I haven't used it myself, but I think we're going to get into a point where this kind of mundane task also will go away. And that's few hours a week that has been spent on front of house and back of house that could be saved and invested somewhere else.
And I think you just mentioned a really key word there for me, Tommy, which is accuracy. How accurate? I mean, AI. I know it's probably been around for longer than I know, but I
Yeah.
certainly feel like it's still pretty much the new kid on the tech block. Um, how accurate is it at the moment? Are we still having to double check? I mean, I'm aware that it's very key what you put in. You get out the accurate data if you put accurate data in, but how accurate are we talking these days?
I wish I have an answer yet because we're still very early in our journey. So, and I think a lot of things are being labeled as AI, but they're not really AI. They
Okay.
are just automations in the
Yeah.
background that are following some very set rules. When you and me are talking about AI today, we're talking about AI agents or something that pretty much thinks by itself. It learns and kind of move the rules as they learn,
Mm.
and then ultimately becomes your co-pilot that is there to support you and help you to make better decisions. I think where AI will get extremely powerful is taking away the need for the managers to sit down halfway through the day to see how are the sales, how is the labor, and where did you sell? It's having that thing in the background. I mean, I mentioned it at a presentation the other day where you can almost in the future maybe have in your glasses something that nudges you, or maybe even in an earpiece or notification on your phone that tells you your sales are not coming in as you expected. If you do this and this and this, you get back on track. Or the weather is changing this afternoon or tomorrow morning, you might actually have a need for your terrace to be open. So you might actually need to get an extra person to support your sales. So see where the opportunity to sell more or to support the
Mm.
sales are. And when things are not going the right way, what can you do to react quick enough so it doesn't impact your
Yeah.
bottom line?
And that sounds to me, Tommy, like it's not the AI is not simply a reactive tool. It can actually be a proactive tool as well. And I
I
think
think this is where it
that's where it
becomes very
starts to
powerful.
get really interesting, is that that idea of being able to predict and recommend and help us in that sort of day-to-day operation. I mean that to me is fascinating.
And I think we're not far from that.
Right.
Give it a couple of years and they just become the norm pretty much. I think everyone is racing really hard now to bring AI. Not always in the right way. I've
Yeah.
seen a few things that to me are just gimmicks, or just the fact that they just want to have AI on their
Yeah.
website. And I won't mention any names on that on
No,
that call
but
today.
it is important to make sure that we're using it, with the same with any tech. I have a phrase I say quite often, which is tech for tech's sake is pointless. It's the whole
100%.
it has to in hospitality, it has to free us up to do the customer experience bit. And if it does, then it's of value. So do you see us using AI externally with customers? I mean, I presumably AI can help us with writing copy for marketing and point of sale, etc.
Oh, it's already there doing that. It's already writing most of the posts on Instagram or that you see on LinkedIn and this kind of stuff. I mean, it's already replying to emails. You go AI replying to AI emails nowadays. So, and there's some very clever people that have automations that they've built without the need of knowing code, where AI can sort your mail, pre-do a template for a specific response that is specific to that specific email that you had, and he sounds like exactly a normal
Sounds like
person. So we're
you.
gonna have a lot of bots talking to each other in the
Yeah.
future. But in terms of customers' experience, I think there's the thing where, because AI can ingest so much data and your personal data when you go to a specific place, it's about really having this very bespoke recommendations whenever you go to a place, or if you have a loyalty scheme in place, it's not having a one fit all, but something that extremely personalized to you based on your frequency, based on what you eat, based on how much you spend and all this kind of stuff. So it really brings value to you, instead of being, in our case, I don't know, an onion rings. Maybe you don't like onion rings. Maybe you never bought onion rings in your life. What would you do with an onion ring if I was to offer you one as a thank you for being a loyal customer?
Yeah. And is there presumably we have to be a little bit careful because as much as AI can learn how to speak like Tommy or can learn how to speak like Katie, we've still got to keep that personalization of experience, right? And is there, are we yet at the point where you can't guess when something is AI written? Because personally, so far, I can spot it. I can spot when something has had some tech help, shall we say?
It's almost too perfect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even guest reviews online now, most of the review platforms or customer review platform that restaurants are using, they have some kind of AI template. So I think it helps for. I mean, back in the days anyway, people would just use a template and just change the names and things that are around it. So is it a big difference? Probably not. But yeah, you can clearly see still on an email that something is just a little bit too perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any typos, and the punctuation is just right. I mean, they can't fake a French accent just yet,
No,
but I think we're
not
not far
yet, not
from
yet.
that.
I'd imagine that that's coming, though, Tommy. I'd imagine that's coming. Tommy, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed our conversation. You've shed some light on AI for me, and I look forward to continuing the cam journey into AI, which I'm being dragged kicking and screaming into. But I think it's going to be a good thing for us overall.